capos and 100 fucking duns. Color slaughter gang, you get your shit popped. Jack up with a drum, this bitch ain't never go stop. Be on that 9 shit.
Quick, I just wanted to touch base on some of the stuff because I looked at some of your answers for did you put in for the actual application. Remember that you had Forever 21?
Oh yeah, anthropology online, Forever 21 online. I was featured in Real Simple. Real Simple's top 6 things.
Okay.
And Forever 21, anthropology, a couple, boutiques around the country, definitely some features on television shows. Yeah.
Okay, and when you say television shows, what type of TV shows?
Yep. So it was they're like, hey, we want to show you cool little gifts that you can get people. We were a part of a feature like that.
Okay, like a gifting type.
Correct.
Okay. See, you didn't mention QVC at all. Is there a reason you didn't mention them?
No, I don't remember the questions, but I would have mentioned them. Yeah, I don't but yeah, I mean, we definitely know that. Sold out, completely sold out 3 times online at qvc.com. That's when they invited me on air. That began, and that was the first time was June 2015. Completely sold out, and then went on to appear 5 more times with varying sales.
Okay.
Never sold out again, but with varying sales each time.
Okay. Do you think that it was just because innovation, everything that's going on, like with social media and all the different things that are going on, just think that you kind of just were no longer interested in it, and that's why you kind of just like got tired of doing it, and that's why it kind of went away?
That's a good question. Really and truly, I think it got to the point where we sort of reflected on, okay, the PR firms got us to some degree, but it was never really a great return on investment. Right? So we sort of wanted to put the brakes on just spending, right? And then after a while, QVC sort of dried up too, where it was like, okay, we're no longer really selling out on there. And then I think I had stints of like, let me see if I'll hire somebody to do my social media.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for a while, it was about, you need to engage, you need to put posts up, and I didn't really have the time or honestly the skills to keep thinking of what to feature today. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Today we're going to feature a makeup tip. Tomorrow we're going to feature like a fierce woman. Tomorrow, you know what I mean? But again, it just did not turn into any sales. And I got tired of vending where you just adding it onto a talent show. We just sort of ran out of
It's
any
like,
kind of go ahead.
It's almost like almost like it was like, what now? So I've done this.
Very much.
I get it, girl. I get it. I've done this and this didn't work. So let me ask you, how much inventory do you actually have? Because I also see that you mentioned as far as like the inconsistency with the wholesaler, which can be a whole nother. That to me is like huge when it comes to small business, because if you are tied to a manufacturer and they cannot produce.
Fortunately, 2 different things. So the wands, I've never had trouble getting my hands on.
Okay.
And I got 5,000 wands or so. I'm good in the wand department. The inconsistency with the wholesaler was the glosses. As you know, oh, we're going to discontinue bubbly. Oh, we're not going to carry this one anymore and that one anymore. And so in some glosses from overseas just to give me some other options. And so their recommended retail is $22.50. As you know, I've never charged $22.50. I was like, let me try to vary this with some glosses with a better margin. Fell off of still investigating the other colors. I sort of lost that supplier. They referred me to somebody else who really wasn't responsive. But again, to your point, I put the brakes on everything because I felt like I'm spending money and nothing is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. When it comes to retail, is like retail to me, like even when it comes to like the clothing part of it, like people are asking me like, well, when are you going to bring back these clothes? I don't know if I want to do that because literally the suppliers are they're dealing with the remnants of COVID still.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite suppliers back when I first started it for so long, they are now selling eyelashes. I was like, what?
Right.
Well, you can start doing. I said, ma'am, you were selling me blouses with big sleeves, and you want me to go from that to eyelashes? Like, no, ma'am.
Exactly.
So I absolutely get it. So much in inventory do you have for your glosses?
Oh, I have very little because I haven't bought glosses in a long time.
Okay.
I bought a bunch of bubblies because they said they were discontinuing them. So I can go back through. That's very easily accessible and kind of tell you what I have and the
Okay.
number of what I have. Do I even want the colors they're offering now? Like what, that's the thing. I need to get back on their site too to see like what do you all have? Did you add any decent colors that you discontinue and everything that my folks love? So I did look at other suppliers in that same space, which I was like, I want to offer what I've been offering. You know what I mean? And I had actually ordered like some samples, a whole kit of everything that all the colors they offer, so you can see what you might want to continue to buy. And I just wasn't impressed. They were these skinny little glosses. The price point was going to need to be that same $22.50 for less gloss. I was like,
So my
Yeah.
thought is, and I know
Yeah.
we have kind of talked about different things like over the years when it comes to like what it is that you want to do. Want to get back into the gloss? Do you want to get back into the with when it comes to the one, like, is this something that you, because I again reading over like some of your answers, and I was like, well, it seems like you want to get back into it, but it's like, I was like, let me ask just to make sure, because it's like, of course, like the way that I think, I'm always forward thinking. I'm always thinking about growth and where you could go. And of course, the part of this process is literally us, like me and the team is, but there's like 6 of us where we kind of come in. Like I personally create the strategy and
Mm-hmm.
based off of my thought process, my creativity. And it's like, this is where I feel like, this is what we can do based on what she wants and what I see. And let's see if we can make this happen is basically what the takeover is. Off of with the things that you already have, where you would like to go. So do you see yourself getting back into the gloss? Before I tell you what I see my vision is, do you see yourself getting back into the glosses and stuff like that?
Yeah, because I will tell you this. The glosses became much more popular than the wands, right? In this way. I think once you have a wand, you have one, right? The glosses run out. You want to try different colors. You want to do fall. You want to do spring. You want to gloss and a matte. And so I just found that at least, and this just shows you that I never really scaled much. Locally, I will say that because there just weren't a lot of sales, period, outside of the region, right? Because people would see me, oh, Nick, I got your gloss before. I like your gloss. Let me get your gloss, right? Those strangers that everybody wants, that everybody needs, they were early on in this whole thing. I had a lot of people hitting that Nikki's Magic Wand website, whether they found me off of an interview with Lynn Hayes Freeland, or whether they saw me on Business Today, or whether they saw me on QVC and then decided to go straight to the website. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of those strangers then. That I'll get a random here and there, but they're just not very many sales to begin with right now. I would say yes, I would like to get back into the glosses, and I will. Forever 21 only had wands, Anthropology wands, the other boutique in upstate New York wands. She was the only one that carried wands and gloss. She had them right by the cash out, right? And what she would do is she sold the glosses and she would use the wands because they cost less as gifts in her for her loyal customers. So she would put those in as gifts for her loyal customers because she had great success with them. She bought glosses from me multiple times over because she kept running out. So that was kind of a test case of something local.
Mhm.
And it's funny, my business partner was always like, don't we want to put the glosses out there too in these places? And I was like, eh. And my hesitancy was always the inconsistency of the supplier. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to make this deal that I'm going to be able to give you, bubblies whenever you call, when they could just tell me they don't have any more in a minute. You know what I mean? I just was always nervous about that. So, but she sort of proved that it didn't really matter. She was fine to pivot,
We have to be willing to do
able to
that.
pivot. Yeah, we
Right.
have to be.
But it's hard though, because we're so you, especially being like, I'm getting ready to turn 50. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be pivoting sometimes.
And that's the thing. It's like, and also too, like, you don't want the stress of like, oh, I got to come in here and tell you that the four colors you normally get every single time are now gone.
Or
You
not
know what
going.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I almost in that particular case didn't want to set myself up for failure. I'm like, look, I know I can always get my hand on these wands. You
Yeah.
will always be able to get you a wand. So here's a wand,
Yeah.
But again, the whole reason I brought about the glosses was to have another offering and also to give people something that ran out.
Absolutely.
I need for repeat customers. So, but my feeling too is, and I've always felt this way in these last 10 years, is that there should be a wand in every home.
Mm-hmm.
Or everybody should know about the wand. And the number of people that know about the wand is still so small. It surprises me still, like people who are like, oh my God, are you that? You know what I mean? And people who have come about and it's like, oh, I heard about you from my girlfriend in Michigan. And I'm like, what? But still, it's
And
not.
my thing is everyone who has makeup should have one, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone who wears makeup should have one. So when you think about that, like I think Sephora, I think places like that, I think about makeup artists, I think about getting some user generated content. I think about, especially in the space of social media, like my mind literally has been like running rampant on ways that we can push you, not just like, so of course people love people. But the way to bring it back to life would be to, of course, to reintroduce you and who you are and what you did, right? Because that's huge. Everybody, especially everybody loves Black women and that Black girl magic and what it is that we do. I think that's huge, that you created something. And not only did you create something, I think that it's so easy for us to downplay what we do, but it's about your accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like, you've accomplished this. You've done what a lot of people aspire to do, which is be on QVC. You've been in Forever 21. You've been, on Anthropology. Like, all of those things is what is the narrative that we need to push. We went over, it was a lot of information. Takeover is literally supposed to be 90 days. So it's like, I try to condense my whole strategy into 90 days. I'm going to send you over a checklist of just some things that I want you to do, which some of it is going to be like just getting the inventory for your, so just so that we know what it is that you actually have. I am going to need access to your Nikki's Magic Wand social media page. You mentioned as far as like your website being down. Is the website down because you didn't want to pay for it?
Absolutely not. It's down. I got some error message that I didn't know how to resolve.
Anything like that, email me back.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm not going to give you an official start date yet, because I want to make sure all of that is in place first.
Okay.
Because what I don't want to happen is me give you a start date, say this is when we're actually going to start, and we can't get that figured out first, because the graphic designer is I'm going to have them do like graphics. When you get your checklist, it might say, like, just based off of what I just told you a minute ago. There she go.
I figured something out.
I'm going to have you like send me some videos of yourself, some photos of yourself. That's some of the stuff is how I'm going to like reintroduce Nikki, how we're going to pump the brand back, how we're going to create the buzz about Nikki's Magic Wand coming back. Going just to be more about you, what it is that you do, your accomplishments and all of that. And then we'll slowly go into everything else. There is going to be a list of things that we'll need first before we can do that.
Okay.
Then I don't want to go too far into the product phase until we know exactly what you have. I did include Ray in this because I want to be able to get some new photos, new photos of the wands, glosses, anything like that. Like send a couple of wands, maybe a couple of glosses. Just mail. Make sure my address is on there so that you're creating a content day where we were going to have a couple of influencers from around here. This was going to put you kind of in a different market, right? Because I'm always growth outside of Pittsburgh. Using some people from around in this area with your product, which would, of course, expand your space as well, but using their platform as well to get you in a different area. But we're going to use that to also get Ray video and photo from Ray as well. And the goal is to even get some user-generated content. So hopefully I can get some people that are actually taking the wand and using it. We'll be able to chop up some of that video and use that for different things. The way that I do that, I can take a 1-minute video and like I've literally been able to get like 15 videos out of one video. I have 2 more calls to do today. So give me about 48 hours to get your checklist together. I'll have her send that over to you. But right now, just make sure did you send me access?
I gave you administrative rights, but I'll check and see. When we were talking about the website being down, you were talking about putting them on TikTok. And I really like that idea too. I know we had talked about that too. So that may be, I don't know if that's still in your strategy.
Yep. So that would be a part of the whole, that would be a part of the strategy. And that wouldn't be on your personal TikTok page. That would be your own, like a completely different TikTok page. The plan is not to, I don't want to stress you guys out with meeting you every week. I want to check in with you guys like bi-weekly, just so that I can say, hey, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. And then we'll follow up at the end of the month so that we can say, this is where we started and this is where we end. And this is the first time with me doing this in 90 days. I'm hope for that. So
okay, that's perfect. And I'm really excited. First of all, excited to be working with you. But also, somebody was asking me something about Nikki's Magic Wand recently. And I said, I have some decisions to make because truthfully, I didn't want to completely dismantle the business because I'm like, I got like 5,000 wands. What I'm going to do if somehow, some way, somebody decides they want to come buy these wands, I need a checking account to put them through. I need you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like, I got decisions to make. And it's like, this came at the time where it's sort of like that shit or get off the pot kind of deal, right? It's like, okay, you step back and you got comfortable in stepping back, right? Because it felt good not to have to worry about what am I going to do and what's next, right? It was like, all right, well, I don't have to worry about it because I decided I'm stepping back.
Girl.
But I still feel like this is too important, right? Like I'm still not ready to let it die. You know what I mean? I still feel like you still have this inventory. They're still not in every home. You only cracked a small part of the surface of what this could be.
Absolutely.
At least try to see it through further. And if it's like, look, we tired of these wands, we don't want these wands, don't come talking to us about these wands no more, that's fine. But I also feel like nobody knows about it. Nobody knows outside of this region other than a couple people that they bought one from me from seeing me on QVC and bought some for their family in North Dakota. But you know what I mean?
We gotta create that buzz again. We just gotta create that buzz again. And the first thing that I thought about was immediately was Sephora, searching to see if they have a vendor portal, look and see if they have some type of small business program, like anything like that, especially with it, like with the holidays coming up, so much shit that's in Sephora. Why can't Nikki's Wand be in there?
We looked into that early on and kind of got like, sort of that initial either couldn't make the right connection or that initial shutdown or something like that. But we talking years ago. And same with Target. Like, I feel like Target is really heavy on Black women. They carry a lot of Black owned products. I feel like, they could be and we definitely, that was a part of the early on strategy, Sephora and Ulta and,
But things have changed a lot. And what I've noticed is I've made a lot of connections on LinkedIn.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes. I'm telling you, like along this whole thing, and I've been able to do it in corporate, like go talk to this person, and the person will come back and be like, oh my God, they gave me all these jewels. And it's the same thing. If somebody can say your name in these rooms,
Yep.
you don't know what's going to happen. That has probably been the missing piece in all of this for me.
Yep.
People who are like, I know the buyer at Sephora. Let
Yep.
me get them on the phone.
Yep.
Let me whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's how a lot of people are getting stuff done.
What, like who we got to go after to get you into these places, because you got 5,000 wands sitting somewhere. Why not? Even if we say it's just a trial period, to say,
Yeah,
let's see if it'll work in Sephora for the holiday.
that's it. You're right. You're right.
I do that type of research. Like I look to see like who is doing it based off of what our clients' needs are. Like I'm more than excited to help you get through this process.
Are you? I
Yeah.
appreciate. I made it, girl, because, and I appreciate. It's like, no, let me pour back into this child. Let me put them in education. Let me tell people they going to college. Let me, you know what I mean? It really just feels like, because here's how I've always felt. God didn't have to give me the idea for the wand. He just didn't. Could have gave it to anybody else. Didn't have to give it to me, right? And I just feel like that's why I've always been at a place where I always wanted my hands on it, because I'm like, it's mine.
What year did you start it?
So it launched 2012, December of 2012.
And what's crazy is like, and to me, like, it's we're in 2024. So much has changed even since then.
There was a young girl doing my makeup recently, and I mentioned it to her, and she was like, what? And she might be like 23, 24. She was like, you invented what? Like, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like, literally, that's what I want. That reaction is what I want. We had already started a checklist. I just need to add to it.
Okay.
But the main thing is just giving me access and seeing what's going on with that website, just in case it's something that I don't or can't do and might need.
Yeah, I did look up. WordPress don't seem to have a direct phone number. Maybe I didn't look in the right place, but yeah, I'm like, just tell me what this error message means. So yeah, let me see what I can figure out with that. But I could definitely give you logins and all of that. Make you admin on different things. And I guess we need to make a new TikTok because I only have the personal one.
Yeah, so that'll be a part of the checklist, is to make a TikTok so that you can do the shop. And then add the because and then even with that, the only thing about the TikTok shop that I don't like is that they have, and I'll check it again because it's been a minute since I've checked it. Like, of course, every place has fees, but I'm almost positive that they hold like payment for like 10 days or something.
Okay.
I don't like stuff like that, but I'll check to say, like, I don't like policies like that, but I'll check. I know that it can absolutely be lucrative, especially when it comes to like people buying it. And like I say, if we decide to do like any user generated content where, all right, let's get to rolling. I'm excited.
So good to see your face and talk to you too.
In the meantime, I'm gonna just work my little butt off.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain, and so I'll start to pull this stuff together that I have notes on. I'll look out for your checklist and
I'm gonna try to get it out to you today. I'm gonna try my best to have her. I'm gonna get as much over to her today as I can, so that she can get it to you by tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.